I'll burn the pancakes and probably the house too, but baby, it's stuck to me like glue.
Good morning. I had a song come on my playlist yesterday night when I was in a stressed kind of mood, and I kept turning it off and I couldn't hear it because it has a very, I associated to you, and it was a song that we slow danced to very, very early on. We were seeing each other, and then I felt a little bit more relaxed and sleepy this morning, and the song was still on, and I absolutely could not listen to it. And then I said to myself, well, you have to listen to it. You have to feel these things, and you have to get through them. And so, like, every 5 seconds, turning on and off in the song to the point where I said, just listen to it, and I started bawling. I am so sad and frustrated because I was fucking young. I think that my heart and my intentions and my soul was still pure. It was still beautiful when you knew me. But the difference is, because I was young, because I was insecure, I hung around with people that didn't really give a shit about me. I accepted advice and took advice from people that were dysfunctional and broken and cynics. I basically didn't follow my heart at all. So my heart was in me. I knew what my heart and soul wanted. I just was absolutely incapable of doing anything about it. I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to understand. I had to make messes. I had to go make mistakes. I was so fucking sheltered when I was young. By the time you met me, like, I still had a whole world I had to understand, and it wasn't like a whole world I need to fuck, and a whole world I gotta go travel the world doing all these things. Like, no, it wasn't like that. But, like, I had to live life so that I could learn how to fuck up, so that I could learn how to not do certain things again. And I literally met you at the wrong time. But ironically, I wouldn't have met you at all, right? Would I have taken the wrong time over no time? Absolutely. I'm so torn because on one hand, I'm like, I've done so much work on myself to work through the guilt and the shame of what I didn't know, to show yourself grace for the things that you don't know. And then once you know, yes, course correct and don't do again. But that doesn't help the situation, does it? It doesn't bring you back. And it sucks because my heart always wanted you. I never deviated from that. But because of all the things going on, I didn't fully see you for you. I loved you regardless, but I had a weird perception of who I thought you were. I thought you were this rough kind of asshole who was also kind of sweet and sensitive. I am only freaking out about this now because I was trying to understand, like, what I feel now and for the last several years. And I had to Google, why do I feel like I could be inside somebody's soul, which is like what people would call their, like, subconscious or whatever, but I don't really see, like, their chaotic ego, like their, what do they call it, your consciousness. I don't really see people off of their consciousness. I see what's, like, on the inside of them, and depending on if they are aware and honest with who they are with themselves, it's, like, hard to have conversations because either some people get really offended or some people are like, you're a mind reader. This is besides the point. The point is, I think why I'm having such a difficult time letting you go is because, call it spiritual, call it whatever, I can't, like, let you go because I see now who you have been this whole time. And I had it fucking wrong. And I don't know, my therapist would probably say, Evelyn, you chose him. He didn't choose you. It takes two people, Evelyn. He didn't, he was a bad communicator, or how much did he try, or when things got rough, he didn't come back. There's like a million things we could do to play the blame game. I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm trying to tell you my fuck up, and I'm trying to understand, Evelyn, do you still feel connected to him, or are you constantly in a loop, like being reminded that you had wrong, and let's just keep reminding you of how much you fucked up? I feel like that is so much blame for one person. Like, was I that evil? Was I that horrible? Did I do so many fucked up bad things, like broken. To have not seen and done all this wrong, I don't know. I didn't think I was that bad. But honestly, maybe I fucking was that bad. Maybe I was the worst thing on the planet because it wasn't worth you giving me another try. It wasn't worth you seeing my side. It wasn't worth you coming back later. It wasn't worth a conversation with. And I sit here to myself going, it's been 5 years of no contact. Why doesn't he see who I am? Why doesn't he see my side? Why doesn't he care? If he really loved me, wouldn't we be back together? If he really loved and cared for me, wouldn't this be torturing him? And eventually we would have a conversation. Wouldn't he see the time has passed? Wouldn't he see that I grew up? Wouldn't he see this mess? All these things, back and forth. Wouldn't he see who I am, who my soul is? And the irony is, I'm having the exact same thoughts and beliefs that I believe you did the whole time we were together. And what kind of hellish torment, what kind of sick, fucked up world would have you be having these thoughts and experiences for 10 years while you were with me? And what kind of hellish, fucked up world do I have to be having the exact same feelings now for the last 5 years, but not even getting to talk to you or see you? Now, do I say it balances out? Do I think you having 10 years with someone where you can communicate and learn each other's lives is the same as 5 years apart without ever being able to contact you? I would say both are torturous or horrible in their own way because you saw me from the outsider's perspective being a complete idiot with someone she fucking hated. And that must have been painful for you. I can't even imagine. And if you really actually did fucking love me in the way that I think you did, then yeah, it probably was one of the most painful things in the world. And it's like, I've been feeling that hellish torture for the last 5 years. Except for it was longer because for 10 years, when I was with you, I was constantly conflicted within my own skin going, I know what I want and need, I just don't know how to get there. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I fucking exploded. But it was only the last 5 years where I did what you did towards the end. Get more self-respect for yourself. Take care of yourself, your own needs. You climbed your fucking ladder and you've done amazing for yourself. And I don't want to be back with you because of guilt and shame or to make the pain and suffering stop. That's not what it is. I think subconsciously, I think I made a very, very, very distinctive, and this is where I get the wires crossed because I don't know if it's like that you feel it too or if it's just all my feelings that I'm feeling times 50,000. But I will never let go of you. I will never stop loving you the way I did from day one. And how else do I prove that to you and me? What other fucking possible way can I show you that on my end that I fucked up and I should have known better than to never fucking love again? Which means actively turn down dates, actively don't go on dating dates, actively do not put myself out there, and if anyone dared tried to come close to me, say no, sorry, I'm in love with another man. To sabotage any sort of future I could ever have with anyone else. Because my heart belongs to you. How can I possibly show you in any other way that I completely fucked up? That I didn't know. I didn't know how to do it right. And I wish we could have done it together. And I'm like, he's older, he's wiser, he's smarter. Like, how did he... maybe he didn't want to spell it out to me. I don't know, but... why couldn't we have talked about these things together? Why couldn't we have figured it out together? Why couldn't he have come back after all these years just for a conversation? Did I hurt him so badly that he can't even look at me or talk to me because he's filled with disgust? And even after having to learn the hard way, and I got raped multiple times by different neighbors, robbed twice, held at gunpoint, fucking traffic, I thought to myself, he wouldn't even care. He would want you dead. He doesn't even care that you had to learn the hard way. He didn't care that you didn't have enough experience and knew fucking nothing. You just had a zest and heart for love. But you didn't have enough life experience to know anything. To know who was lying to you to your face or loving you. Because I didn't have people growing up that loved me. My family is fucked up. It's like I was the only person in my family that was even remotely capable of learning, growing, changing, doing better. And I think to myself, how can you be upset or mad at him when you're asking him to show you the same kind of grace? How can you be mad at him for not wanting to talk to you when he probably felt like he couldn't talk to you back then? I don't know if this is making sense. I'm very emotional right now. And I understand that it's a principle thing. I thought maybe it was spiritual, that maybe we were going to be together if I just held out long enough, or that this is what true love was. And I think it's very narrow-minded that we couldn't get back together. You're going to tell me after you change and grow and I change and grow, and that things kind of balance or even out, that in the right time, that we could be the right people in the right time? Why the fuck did we have to meet each other when we were both still learning fucking shit? I cannot fully blame me for everything. I can't. There are two sides. The only difference in everything I'm saying right now is, do you still love me? Do you still long for me? But how could you fucking long and care for somebody? There's no way you could be in no contact for 5 years and say that that person cares about you. That's delusional thinking. How can you possibly think that still yearns for you when actively every day he has this insane discipline that says, no, you are never talking to her again, and you will block her, and that you will not know any of the things that she is thinking or doing for the rest of her life? I don't know if anybody works that way. I don't know if that's possible if you really liked somebody, even if they hurt you. So yeah, it fucking sucks for me because you probably are like, nope, I wish her dead and I'm glad all those things happened to her. I've said this before in my podcast and it's truly how I feel, but I can be raped, I can be drugged, I can go through a lot of trauma and lose my mind. I could be trafficked, I could be held at gunpoint, I could see corruption and power struggles and people in uniform or an authoritative figure not care, not support, not reach out. I can see the whole system crash around me. But the one thing that I can't get over is loving you and moving forward from that. I could still live my life. I could still accomplish things. I could still have hobbies and shit. But it doesn't mean that my heart was not given to you and you have it and I can't have it back. It's like that stupid line in one of my favorite films as a kid. You don't want to marry me? It's like, why? He's like, because I gave away my heart a long time ago and I never really got it back. Well, good for Reese Witherspoon. She got it back. At the very end of the fucking movie. Maybe she was the exception. And then I think to myself, well, what if he does have really good discipline, but he does care, but he has quote, self-respect for himself that he thinks that you're still this sheer evil girl with only bad intentions that just went around with a mental machete just opening up people's hearts. I don't know what the fuck you thought of me. Apparently you thought I was the worst person that ever existed on the planet. And I think to myself, well, maybe he cares, but he's not talking to me, but he's listening and reading to all these text messages. Then I do a test call to see if I was blocked, and, it's like it says I'm blocked, but it says I'm not blocked. It says you're getting these messages to some of your devices, but they might not be actually going to your devices, and maybe they're going to spam, and maybe whatever. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter, because if you're not meant to see them, and I'm not meant to, have you back, then it's not gonna fucking happen. Anomalies and miracles happen all the time. But then I think to myself, there's no way I could have all these types of conversations and it's not penetrating him at all. Like, he doesn't care at all. There's no way that he can be hearing this and not respond. He must be blocked. And then I think to myself, in the cold, bright light, I'm like, in reality, I'm like, okay, so you're blocked, and he made a decision that you died to him a long time ago and never had grace or compassion or thought you could change or thought anything else other than what was in his skin. You could say the same thing about me now. I don't think so, though, because, my God, I'm putting in so much fucking work, it's not even funny. You're not asking me to do this. But how else do I prove to you? I'm already strong in my convictions. I already know how I feel. I know how I have felt since I was 21 years old. That hasn't fucking changed. But how else do I show you, even if I never get to show you? How else do I show you than to never stop loving you and keep myself single? Not because I'm trying to self-sabotage or be alone, or not be alone or whatever, but because my heart is with you. So why the fuck would I be with anybody else when it feels like I'm cheating on you, which I don't want to do because you are my heart? Why would I want to try something with someone else? Well, because he's not communicating with you and he's not actually in a relationship with you. Yeah, okay, my soul feels otherwise. Well, then you're delusional and you're crazy and you're so blah, blah. Okay, fine. Then maybe if people are going to be harsh and critical, then I don't need to say anything at all. Like, I just keep quiet, stay single, and always love you. And have that love fuel me in all the things that I do. I have never been more sure of anything in my life. And you can ask yourself, well, obviously you weren't that sure when you were with. I also did not know how to experience life. I did not know how to manage my addiction with cannabis, how to cope through my depression and my anxiety. I did not know how to deal with the medication that I was on when I was being told one thing, but I just needed a therapist and needed to get out of my relationship, and I took it all wrong, and so I coped, and then I would live my life and be happy, and then I would come back to him and be miserable and fucked up and sad, and I was hanging around the wrong people, and I couldn't talk about. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it certainly didn't matter to you. It did not matter to you what my side of it was at all. You're probably just saying, oh, thanks for all of your fucking excuses, bitch. And maybe that's why we aren't together. Because maybe we're both right. But if you never wanted to come back, and if you never wanted to have a conversation with me, or if you never wanted to talk about it, or try to heal, or try to resolve, then yeah, we weren't meant to be together, because if we could never see each other's sides or talk about it or even fucking just try, then yeah, how would it ever fucking work? But on my end, I'm not going to stop trying. My only saving grace is why you're not locking me up saying you have a restraining order is because you can just be like, whoop, block, never talk to her again. Oh, how lovely. And then as long as you stay true in your convictions, you don't unblock me, then it's not really a problem for you. Block on an email, block on social, block on phone number. Cool. Never have to acknowledge her existence again. I hope she dies. Well, thank you for those very kind words because, yes, I suffer all the time. So whatever you're doing, it's fucking working. Congratulations, you have magical powers. I can work on myself and go to therapy every month and do everything that I'm supposed to do. But it does not get me to stop caring about you. And I'm supposed to deny that, which just makes myself... When I try to deny and suppress my feelings for you and move on like, everybody in life says to do, that's when I start to feel kooky in my head. And that's where I'm like, oh, are you going to have an episode, Evelyn? Are you going to crack because you're not being true to yourself? And that's the point of everything I've been struggling with the last couple weeks. If I'm being true to myself and honoring my heart, which I did not do when you knew me, it led to a lot of destructive bad behavior. But if I am true to myself and I follow my fucking heart, then I'm balanced and calm and normalized. So yes, that means I'm going to do what I couldn't do back then and show you and also me, hey, I couldn't do it back then. I was incapable back then, but it doesn't mean I'm not incapable now. People can change. People can grow. People can get better. And how else to prove to you that I was very fucking conflicted and fucked up than to live in how I feel right now? To follow my heart, to be true to who I am, which means ignore what people say. Don't pay attention to the critics and the bad advice. Just never stop loving him. And stay alone, because being alone isn't a bad thing. I'd rather be alone than be with anybody else who is not you. So in my head, yes, I have taken a vow of being alone for the rest of my life. Unloved, untouched by anyone else. About talking about it and playing back these messages so I can hear myself. Thought it would help. I thought sending them to you would help. I thought sending them to me would help. I thought deleting your chats and bringing them back would help. None of it helps. None of it seems to make a dent. I'm not telling you all this to make myself feel better. I don't give a shit about making myself feel better. In this particular instance, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I've never been more in love with myself and proud of who I am, ever, in my entire life. But, like a fucking onion blossom, I can have multiple layers, multifaceted, spots. I can have 2 thoughts, 3 thoughts, 4 thoughts going on at the same time. I can love me and live my best life while also being hellishly tortured that I'm not with the one that I love. And for my heart to be this big and to love so fucking much and to never actually be in love again other than what my spirit feels, fucking fine. I have this heart to love and have a beautiful partnership and companionship with somebody and be in a monogamous, safe, welcoming, warm, loving environment with somebody where we support each other and love each other. And I will deny that forever. And you might not ever get to know because, I'm lost. You might not ever get to know that I made this decision. That's not the point. It's the principle. Point is, I'm going to do it anyways. So I've been studying Kierkegaard lately, and there's like a lot of similarities between you and him. And I just have to say, it's not about honoring or respecting your boundaries anymore because A, you can't do the same for other people, and B, you can't communicate. So there's no way that I can respect you anymore when you are a piece of literal trash. I don't think you understand that all I wanted to do was understand you and to reconcile. And the fact that you would rather take a poker to your eye and jam it out of your eye and go blind than to have a conversation with me shows that you are not only a coward, that you do not have any sort of integrity whatsoever, that you are this like very avoidant that is so broken and cares more about what other people think than like pride and dignity of who you are as a human being. You are so flawed. You are probably the worst person I've ever met in my life. And the fact that I cared even through your flaws, that's on me, and I get that. But how the fuck do you live with yourself? All I wanted was a conversation to understand you, understand your viewpoint, because I truly fucking believe that there is just something you're not telling me, or that you are a contradiction, that you're saying and doing one thing that's completely the opposite, and you're like, oh, I gave you closure. I said leave me alone. That's not fucking closure. You fucking limp noodle. That is not closure. And so, yeah, a couple days ago, I was curious to know how you were doing. I don't have any pictures of you or anything. I missed your fucking stupid, gorgeous face, so I tried to Google a picture of your face. Yes, I found out that you moved far away and are happy being promoted. Good for fucking you. I'm actually being serious about that. And I'm like, I admittedly, extremely delusionally thought, well, not that far. I had an ex. I could still bump into him or have a conversation with him. Not to get back together with you, you fucking freak, but to communicate and reconcile our fucking differences like a fucking decent human being. Look at your goddamn educational background. And you're like a walking contradiction to everything you actually believe in still. Regardless. Yeah, I recently, 2 days ago, found out that you moved and got promoted. Good the fuck for you, okay? And then what? 2 days later, I was like, oh, I'm curious, like, what he is doing now, and I'm proud of him and happy for him. So I was, like, trying to read an article or something that you wrote, okay? And somehow, from 2 days of even knowing this, I, like, go back, and then it says, like, I'm, like, blocked or something from your fucking website, and I'm thinking, this guy either thinks I'm a stalker, which first off, stop flattering yourself. Contacting you like twice a year is not fucking stalking you. But second off, you would rather go to the ends of the earth to block me on every platform and go through all this fucking work. And what do you have to do? Call a fucking IT guy? Oh, hey, I used to like really fuck over this girl. She's gonna still care about me because she's an idiot in that department and gives a shit about love, even though I was just like playing her the entire time. Can you like block this chick? Like, did you go and do that? Like, I don't even understand. Obviously, it does not make me look good that you did that, but how interesting, how fucking interesting that you would go to that depth. And not just be like, oh, yeah, okay, she's looking up my work account because she cares who I am as a human fucking being. And, like, instead you're like, no, I want to make sure she never sees me ever again. And you can't just, like, live in your own skin and just, like, accept that I care. And instead, you're like, have to block me. Isn't that more work, more effort, more headache on your part than to just say, you know what, Evelyn? It's been a long time. Maybe I will just pick up the phone, have a conversation with you, and we can talk it all out. And then, wow, both of us would feel better. You would feel better about it fucking too, because communication is a good fucking thing to have. And then after we got all of our whatever laughs and tears and fucks and cries out of the way, then you'd be like, okay, are you good now? Can you like never speak to me again? Is this your closure? Leave me alone is not fucking closure 5 fucking years later. You do not have an affair with someone for 10 done, and that's like a one-word sentence like 5 years later. Like, who are you? Other than a horrible human being and literally a coward. Literally, you are a coward. I did not think you were that insecure and that much of a coward that you could not, like, see the other side of other than just you're just insecure, selfish. So, yeah, I'm kind of fucking curious. At what point could you not be like, oh, yeah, maybe if
You are so lucky my GPS got cut off and I didn't finish that tangent. I would like to try to respect you, and I made a pact with myself that I was going to understand and respect boundaries, so you didn't hear from me for a year, okay? But how can you honor and respect somebody's boundaries when you don't give a shit or respect them? How could you fucking ask me to not ever talk to you again when you don't ever want to, step up and be like, you know what? I was lying to you. I'm a coward. I can't communicate. I'm a walking contradiction to everything I think and feel and study and have been educated on and learn. And I'm sorry. I'm just a fraud. And I didn't want you to know that I was a fucking fraud. Like, why can't you just say that? You are so much older than me. How have you not learned that from all of your fucking philosophy books and anthropology classes? Like, I don't understand. I do not understand how you would rather avoid and block someone thinking like that's how life works, and that was better than just having an actual conversation. I'm not talking about a one sentence text message, okay? You're such an asshole. I was drugged out of my mind. I did not take drugs. I was drugged out of my mind by a fucking neighbor when I went to your house and happened to have had a couple glasses of wine. So the combination of being drugged, which I did not know at the time, and having some glasses of wine, yes, I barged into your house again, out of my mind. I had a psychotic episode from being drugged, and now I know, do not ever get drugged again or take even cannabis, which is why I don't take cannabis anymore, because that shit could happen to you. And you took that instance and what fucking happened when you saw that I was insecure. I will admit that. I was insecure when I was with you, but I spent almost a decade trying to get out of a relationship I hated and to try to leave that relationship, which I didn't know how to do because I didn't have a lot of life experience. So then I tried to get out of that to be with the man that I really loved, that I really, really fucking loved and hate, that I still fucking care about, although really debatable after you blocked me recently, because that was just like completely unnecessary. So then I finally had the opportunity to get divorced, and I was like, thank God, I can have an honest, free conversation. I thought we were on the same page. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to judge this whole affair and relationship that we had off of her being drugged and just never going to give her another chance to explain, or like that didn't even register in your mind. You just saw me barge in when I was out of my goddamn mind. And you're like, yeah, I never want to talk to her again. Like, who the fuck are you? Have you never had people in your life that have gone through something and then overcame that and got better? I'm going to assume not, considering you've apparently stayed the same person your entire life. But guess what, Ivan? People can change and grow and get better. Like, I'm going to send these 2 audio messages to you. One, because I'm not disrespecting or dishonoring your boundaries, because I'm blocked, okay? So if I'm blocked, then I can go ahead and send this, and you're not going to know, and it's not going to really fucking matter. But if for some strange reason these messages go through, you unblocked me for a reason. And I want to know, you cowardice piece of shit, why after you sent that message did a day or 2 later in the evening, you sent me a message probably how you truly felt, and then deleted it so I could never fucking see what you said afterwards. So yeah, it was hard to believe you. And you know what? This is just a philosophy on life. Forget believing in God or anything spiritual, because I don't anymore. But like, you cannot convince me that the relationship we had, the connection we had, was bullshit. I think you happened to be a coward, and I think you didn't know how to deal with it, and maybe you have avoided life your entire life, and this is just like what you deal with in every single fucking relationship. And instead of addressing it and trying to talk to somebody about it, and I don't know, opening your heart and being vulnerable, that I'm probably not the very first person you ever had to deal with this. I'm just like blown away that someone like me would give you a chance, that would think highly of you, that would want to create a space for you where you could be vulnerable and express how you truly feel, even though you have some fucked up flaws bigger than me, bro. And you're like, no, I'm a wimp. I'm a coward. I don't want to take the chance. So I'm just going to block her because that's more effort than just giving her what she wants, which is a fucking conversation. What year old fucking man is like, I'll just avoid her my entire life and jump through all these hoops and probably have nightmares at night and be paranoid and look over my shoulder thinking she's gonna stalk me or hurt me. Yeah, fuck you. Don't give yourself that much credit. Home slice. Limp noodle. How could you, how does one do that? Curiosity is gonna kill the cat. I swear to God. Some cat is dying somewhere because you just have me curious. I'm so fucking curious how you could be how you are. And then it wasn't until I started like researching Kierkegaard and I was like, man, there's a lot of similarities between those fucked up human beings. A walking fucking contradiction. So if nothing we know is ever like right or makes sense, then yeah. I have a curiosity in me because there's something that I feel and know in my heart to be true. And you're just like, meh. Ugh. Again, I don't have to worry about disrespecting your boundaries because if I'm blocked, these messages will never send. But I can't pray because I don't believe in God anymore. But I fucking hope that your idiotic self was also curious and was like, oh, I'll unblock her because there's no way she'll ever message me again. Bro, you don't have to get a fucking restraining order. Don't think that fucking highly of yourself, of all the shit that I have been through since my fucking divorce. Do not flatter yourself. I am fine on my own. And yes, if that means that I choose to be single because I'd rather love a fucked up, complicated, complex human being, which, yes, there's gotta be a way to get over it somehow. And I fucking will. But just knowing you as a human aside from love, yeah, I would never want to bring how I feel about you into another relationship. So I'm fucking fine being single. But my God, how I can't even comprehend the drastic measures that you take just to like avoid a conversation. Oh, I did give you closure in a conversation. I said, leave me alone. You think I'm actually trying to get back with you? No, I just want to understand the psyche of your fucking mind. You liked me for whatever apparent reasons other than the fact that I'm fucking great. So you shouldn't be so fucking surprised that you and I connected because yes, I'm going to keep going after the psyche of your mind to try to understand why you're such a fucked up, flawed human being more than other people. Ugh. Man, you totally suck. And I do not understand how you would rather go blind or embarrass yourself or ignore life or avoid life just to not have a conversation with me. Like, what does that say about you? Not about me. It's just kind of interesting.
All right, it's your turn. Let's do this. I know how to love, 'cause in my dreams maybe you will see, just temporarily fall.